I start, I'm going to apologize just a little bit for the sound. My mic went out. I'm having some trouble with it, and so I'm just having to run on the mic that is here on the little GoPro, which I hope will do okay, and maybe I can spruce it up a little bit in post-processing. We'll give it a try. I'm just kind of playing around and trying to explore a little bit today. I'm going to start by saying I think it is a wise and noble, intelligent thing to think about the future, set a few goals, and make some plans, not just drifting through life as the wind blows, but actually knowing a little bit about who you are and what you want out of life and how God made you. I think that's a good thing. I've spent quite a large portion of my life kind of helping guide people when I was a college advisor and worked at the center, and I think it's a good thing. Yep, I think it's a good thing to think about the future as long as you don't pitch your tent there. That is, spend all of your time chasing that goal and not realizing that there's a lot of life to be lived between goals. Now, I've seen a number of men in my life, and I don't know, perhaps women also, I just haven't seen as many of them do this, but I've seen a number of men pursue their beloved, their girlfriends, their fiancés, with the kind of energy that they would pursue an athletic sport. That is, they would just make them the center of their attention, and they would focus on them, and the girlfriend, not realizing that this is just how the guy works, felt like she would be the center of his attention all through their lives. And they got married. And after they got married, he would put the relationship with her up on his shelf, just right alongside of these other trophies, and go for the next major career, the change in building a career and making a stable home for the family. And couldn't understand why she would feel neglected and cheated, because he felt like he was working for the family and giving to the family by building that career, even though she was sitting on a trophy shelf along next to football or basketball or baseball trophies or whatever else. I have a friend who has spent his career as a youth pastor in a very strong church, ministering to probably hundreds of youth over his lifetime. And he tells me that very often that parents get so wrapped up in the responsibilities of life, they just don't have time for their kids. And so what they do is they try to make up for a loss of time with spending, quality time together. However, what they don't realize is there is no such thing as quality time. Or to be a little more precise, quality time is an accident that occurs in the middle of quantity time. Some of those most important times that you've spent with your children and your families and your loved ones have not been the planned times. Sometimes the planned times end up in failure. But they're the times that were not planned when you were together that you remember for the rest of your lives. Now, the other extreme is also true. Remembering the past is a heartwarming, sentimental journey that I never want to let go of. I've lost a lot of loved ones over the years, and I think about them often, and I remember the times we've had together, and I think that it is spatial, sacred, to remember the past, as long as we don't pitch our tent there too. I've known people that have lost their loved ones that never got over it the rest of their lives. Or maybe they had some bad experience earlier in their life, and they never got over it the rest of their lives. It's like the days on the calendar just kept clicking by. The hours on the clock just kept clicking by. But they still lived in that time. And in the process of that, they no longer lived in the present. They no longer loved in the present. They no longer enjoyed the present. They just were locked into the old. And as hard as it is to say it, time just marches one way. I mean, the science fiction has time travel, but we haven't found that yet. And the past is gone. And what I have is today. And if I let myself live in the past, not only am I missing out on today, but I'm living in a world that only exists in the imagination of one person, myself. No place else in the world does that reality exist. If you get on with your life after some terrible thing happens, that's not demeaning to the relationship you had before. Okay. Good way to fall and land on my keister. Oh, okay. Looks like a den in here. Jesus said in Matthew chapter 6, verse 34, "Do not be anxious about tomorrow, for tomorrow will be anxious for itself. Sufficient for the day is its own troubles." That is, don't live in the past, don't live in the future. A nice place to visit, but a bad place to live. Live in the here and now. We are about to the midway point of another week. We'll be together again in a few days to worship our Lord. In the meantime, between now and the time we come back together Sunday, may you not be trapped in the tyranny of living in the past or the future. May you be free to live in the present and to look toward the beauty that's all around us. May God give your soul rest and peace and your relationships warmth. And may God bless you.